Hello everyone and welcome to a new lesson with Miss Rafa. Today we're going to start with Unit 4, Drama. So open your student book and let's get started with the reading skill. Genres of Literature. Unit 4, Drama. Let us start with a preview. In pairs, discuss the following questions. Is going to the theater common in your city? How often do you go there? What was the name of the last play you attended or watched? What type of play was it? What was your impression about it? Now let's start reading. Let's start with some vocabulary. Dramatist, dramatist. Playwright, playwright. Comedy, comedy. Comedian, comedian. Tragedy, tragedy. Tragedian, tragedian. Fraction, fraction. Experimentation, experimentation. Revival, revival. Renowned, renowned. Merge, merge. Emerge, emerge. Theme, theme. Dramaturgy, dramaturgy, dramaturgy. Out of date, out of date. Intact, intact. Contemporary, contemporary. Intellect, intellect. Decade, decade. Era, era. Dominate, dominate. Innovative, innovative. Steep decline, steep decline. Frustration, frustration. Self-destructive, self-destructive, uncontrollable, uncontrollable, current, current, trend, trend, modernist, modernist. Now let's read the lesson. History of drama. The term drama comes from a Greek word meaning action. Drama is divided into comedy and tragedy. Only a small fraction of the work of 5 dramatists have survived to this day. The tragedians Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides, and the comedians Aristophanes, and, from the late 14th century, Menander. Medieval drama, when it emerged hundreds of years after the original tragedies and comedies, was a new creation rather than a rebirth, without being influenced by Iliad drama. The Renaissance saw a huge revival in all types of art, including theatre. William Shakespeare, one of the world's most renowned playwrights, wrote and produced many plays that are still performed regularly, even today. Shakespeare was one of the first to merge comic elements into tragedies. He also developed a structure and several types of characters that are still common in modern drama. The 18th century was a time when more plays were being written for and about the middle class. The themes, language, and the dramaturgy of Shakespeare's plays were now considered out of date, so that during the next 2 centuries, the works of England's greatest dramatists were never produced intact. Toward the end of the 18th century, the Romantic period began in Western Europe, which heavily influenced the theatre of that era, and focused on emotion rather than intellect. This movement continued through the beginning of the 19th century. Contemporary drama shows the influence of all that has come before. It involves much experimentation with new forms and ideas. In the early part of the 20th century, musical drama came to dominate stages in New York and England. Although each theatre season saw the release of straight dramatic plays as well. Many playwrights of the 1960s and 1970s, Sam Shepard in the United States, Tom Stoppard in England, built plays around language. In their plays, dialogue frequently can't be read simply as an intellectual exchange of information. Many playwrights also mirrored society's frustration with a seemingly uncontrollable, self-destructive world. The drama, which had suffered a steep decline during the Victorian age, was revived with great force at the beginning of the 20th century drama, and the course of 6 decades has witnessed many trends and currents in the 20th century drama. The drama of the modernist movement was much less innovative in technique than it was its poetry and novel. Now let's answer some questions. Complete the following definitions using words from the books. Revival, contemporary, decline, tragedy, intellect, dominate. Is known as a serious play or book that ends sadly, especially with the death of the main character. Tragedy is the ability to understand things and to think intelligently. Intellect is a decrease in the quality, quantity, or importance of something. Decline to control someone or something, or to have more importance than other people or things, means to dominate. Is a process in which something becomes active or strong again. Revival means something belonging to the present time. Contemporary Question B. Read the text and answer the following questions. What are the two types of drama? They are comedy and tragedy. whose works have been survived to the present time in comedy. The works of Aristophanes and, from the late 14th century, Menander. What makes Shakespeare special in drama? Shakespeare was the first to merge comic elements into tragedies. He also developed a structure and several types of characters that are still common in modern drama. What was drama of the 18th century about? They were about the middle class. In what period were Shakespeare's plays considered old and inconvenient? In the 18th century, Shakespeare's plays were considered old and inconvenient. How was the theatre of the 18th century influenced by the Romantic period in Europe? It heavily influenced the theatre of that era and focused on emotions rather than intellect. Why is contemporary drama different from old drama? Contemporary drama involves much experimentation with the new forms and ideas. Question C. Complete the chart below about the drama. We have the period and the changes and events. Musical drama became more important on the stages in New York and England. In the early part of the 20th century, drama was considered a new creation. Hundreds of years after the original tragedies and comedies. Romantic period began toward the end of the 18th century. Drama declined during the Victorian age. Plays around language were built between the 1960s and the 1970s. That's everything for today. Thank you very much. See you next lesson.